Brock Purdy, the 49ers quarterback, missed Sunday's loss in Green Bay with a shoulder injury. He was able to do some throwing yesterday in a side session. They don't practice today. The 49ers hope that he'll be able to practice when they start up their week tomorrow and play Sunday night in Buffalo. They MRI'd the shoulder. They didn't come up with anything concerning there, but it was sore, so they held him out. We'll see if he can go this week. And Cowboys quarterback Cooper Rush showed up on the injury report yesterday with a knee injury. The Cowboys, of course, play Thursday. It sounds like there's a decent chance he'll be able to go, but the fact is that he is on the injury report with a knee issue, so we'll monitor that today and tomorrow as well before figuring out whether it's going to be him or it would be Trey Lance if Cooper Rush cannot go Thursday against the Giants.
Yeah, I do want to point something out. Just being on the sideline for J.K. Dobbins' injury last night, after he got hurt, he was able to run pretty significantly on the field. I think, Graz, you could be onto something, that they're being a little bit precautionary with him. He was able to move pretty well. It wasn't the type of thing where he was limping around, and we'll keep an eye on it, but just wanted to add that context. All right, more from Graz throughout the show. Let's turn our attention to Week 13. Dolphins and Packers. Green Bay, 3.5-point favorites in Lambeau. The game time temp, by the way, 28 degrees. More on that in just a moment and what Mike McDaniel thinks about it. But the Dolphins have pressured quarterbacks at the 5th highest rate this season. That's an area that Jordan Love has struggled with. When Jordan Love is pressured this season, he has thrown just 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, while completing 41% of his passes. His completion percentage ranks 29th in the NFL, and his interception percentage ranks 31st. Hawk, we saw Jordan Love finally have a turnover-free game on Sunday. How big is that heading into this matchup against the Dolphins?
I mean, it's huge. It's the big question mark around the Green Bay Packers heading into the back half of the season and into the playoffs. When you play the really good teams or teams fighting for playoff contention, a turnover here, a turnover there, literally can decide the game. And I think LaFleur has done a good job in the way that he's called plays to keep Love in rhythm, to keep his operation right, to get the ball out of his hands when necessary. I still want to see more from Love, though. There were still a couple of plays, a couple of unnecessary risks that didn't seem calculated, like this play right here in the double coverage. That could have easily been a turnover, right? And I think the way LaFleur kind of strategizes when to take those shots, I need Love to play with that same kind of strategy, to know when and why he's taking the risks that he's taking, and make sure the payoff is worth it. That's my thing with Love.
I think he's got a challenge tomorrow night. The Dolphins' defense is just as hot as the Dolphins' offense.
Yeah.
And the way that Anthony Weaver, their defensive coordinator, is using their front and then some of those simulated pressures. Number one, you better block Zach Sealer. In the run game, he is an absolute destructive force where he's just blowing up plays and allowing everybody to fly to the football. I think the second thing is, if you single block him in pass protection, you better make sure that you can win that one-on-one matchup because he is hunting quarterbacks. Chop Robinson, their draft pick out of Penn State. You got to make sure that you have an athletic enough tackle. His bend is showing up from an offensive blocking perspective. And I'm telling you, these simulated pressures are a problem. 4 defensive linemen by themselves. 2 backers walked up. Okay, well, as an offense, I got a guy for a guy. What happens is 2 defensive linemen drop. I got 4 offensive linemen blocking 2. The back picks up a backer, but the safety comes free. And as a quarterback, you're like, who the heck do I throw it to? Who the heck do I throw the ball to? Since the bye week, look at the points that they've given up. 16. Now the Cardinals and Bills got hot in those 2 games, but then 15, 19, and 15. 4 out of their last 6 games under 20 points. This is a defense right now that on the road, Tua, cold weather, can he get it done? I think the defense gives them a chance to hang in that game.
Hawk, any concerns on Christian Watson, 0 catches, the big drop, the big spot on Sunday where he dropped the ball?
I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned. I mean, that was a big drop, obviously, and would have been a touchdown for the Packers. But I think that was his first drop of the year. I don't question what Christian Watson brings to the table for this Packers offense. And I think that what they need to do is get him more involved. He didn't have as many opportunities as you would like, which is also probably the reason why Love feels the need to maybe force it in double coverage to try to get him another look. I think what they use him for, they need to get him more involved and continue what they've done with Romeo Doubs, who has run incredible routes all season. And even in this game, you saw it in the slants routes, you saw it in the choice routes over the middle of the field. I believe that they can do a better job of balancing it out between him and Watson, because Watson is too big of a threat and too necessary for this offense for him to go like he did this past game.
I think one of the things that makes this offense so unique is Dobbs is the kind of do-it-all guy. I really believe he can do most of the route tree. And then everyone has got like a very specific yet high-end role. Watson, go be like the deep cross guy or their vertical guy. Jaden Reed is their version of a Debo Samuel. Just get him the touches. Wicks can win one-on-one. The tight ends win one-on-one. Heath can win one-on-one. So everyone's got a role underneath the Dobbs kind of do-it-all type of player.
Yep, I agree.
Man, I'm excited. Everybody kick their feet up, settle in for a little Thanksgiving football. That's going to be a lot of fun on Thursday. Before we move on, we usually save Lost in Translation sound for Wednesdays, you guys, but you got to hear this sound from Mike McDaniel on preparing to play at Lambeau.
You know, I was just going to carry ice cubes in my pockets and throw them at players all week. You know, it's nothing revolutionary. I'm not gonna throw it out there for the world and act like we've checked the box of we've got this answered.